Is this the best new bow brand on the market? Today, we're going to get to the truth. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we are doing a bow review. This is the Truth MG33 by Truth Archery. To begin with, I'll give you a little bit of backstory about me, just so you know I'm kind of qualified to talk about this stuff. I've been shooting a bow pretty much my whole life, but competitively and for about 10 years. So I've been shooting a bow for a while now. I know I'm not in the game with the old timers, but I've been shooting for a long time. I've done a lot of hunting. I've done a lot of competition. Been really getting into the competition for the past probably about 5 years. All right, so today we're kind of going to be going through some of the specs about the bow, some of my likes, dislikes, pros and cons of the bow. Okay, so to run through a couple of the specs, this bow I think comes in at IBO at 342 feet per second, which is quite quick. That's up there with a lot of the things. It has a 6-inch brace height. I really like 6-inch brace height. It's pretty solid. A little bit forgiving, but not so tight that you're gonna run into a lot of inconsistencies as a newer shooter. The big thing about this bow is it's a magnesium riser. That's what the MG stands for. It's kind of a newer material that bows are being made out of. They're one of only a couple companies that are going for it. This bow is under 3.5 pounds. I do believe spec is 3.45. It is crazy how well this bow holds for being that light. That's one of the big things that I've noticed about this bow. But one of the downsides about a magnesium riser or a carbon riser, one of those lighter weight bows, they have a lot of hand shock. So what they've done about it is they've come up with this new limb pocket. This new limb pocket, it has a little rubber on it, and it really dampens a lot of hand shock. Shooting it bare, it does have more hand shock than your standard aluminum or even carbon at that point. But once you get a sight and a rest and maybe even a stabilizer on it, it feels just like everything else. It's not like astonishing how aggressive it is. It really weighs it down, and a lot of the hand shock goes away. It still had a little bit, so as you can notice, I threw a little bit of rubber in between on top and bottom of the riser. And once I did that, you know, this isn't adding too much weight to the bow, which that's the whole thing with this bow. But once I threw those in there, there was really not any hand shock that I noticed. And I've shot a lot of stuff. So I've shot the Hoyt Prevail, I've shot the Levitate, and it has less hand shock than that, I would say. One of the other things that they kind of got going for them is probably this KSET technology. It is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life to tune a bow. I can tune a bow in under a minute. I can shoot 2 arrows and move this, and it's set.
Kate here is the excellent archer. I am just getting into it, and I traded in my bow because he had one, and he said, Corey, you gotta try out this bow. So not only do you have an expert or someone that knows a little bit more in the bow world about it, but you also have a beginner that has also liked it and has been running the same bow. This is just a different color of it. But you have two sides of the equation.
So to go over a couple more pros of this bow, a good friend of mine initially bought one and he had me try it. And the very first thing that I noticed was this grip. I'm not too fond of like the contoured grips or like the real rounded ones. Like I can't get very consistent with it. This is quite square and skinny, and it fits my hand like nobody's business. And to touch in like what kind of bow this is designed for, it's more of a hunting style bow. It's only 33 inches axle to axle, which I think is not terrible for hunting. I wouldn't mind a little bit smaller one. I do believe they make a 31 and a 35. I know they make a 35. We can get into that right now. But when I was shooting this bow, I just picked it up because my buddy had me shoot his, and I was like, wow, that really feels pretty good. So I went and grabbed one. I shot it for a little while, and I was like, wow, I cannot believe how well I'm holding with this bow. I'm shooting it pretty well. I can tune it very quickly. It holds like nobody's business. I like to throw my weight down a little bit lower just to maybe get a little bit more recovery, like in windy situations and stuff. But honestly, it doesn't really need it. That's more for me. But I ended up actually switching my target setup just because of how well it was holding. And honestly, it might have been a mistake because I've been shooting this. I went ahead and bought their 35 is what I'm getting at. And it holds so good, I can hardly even shoot my hinge anymore. It literally holds so good. My shot process kind of went out the window, and I have to focus on actually executing a good shot. So these bows have really blown me away for being this light. It really is quite impressive. These bows are really good for some older people or maybe people who have some injuries like shoulder injuries that can't really necessarily hold up a 5, 6, 7 pound bow once they get all their stuff on it. And I feel like they hold maybe just as good. So to go into a little bit of the draw cycle, it's not the smoothest on the market. It has a little bit of a hump. I'm more of a high holding weight kind of guy, so that kind of fixed it a little bit for me. But as goes for the draw cycle, I think it's quite mid-range for being smooth. Like it doesn't have a huge hump. Like some of these other brands, they kind of have a hard hump because people are running 90% let off, 80% let off. When you get into that 80-90% let off, it's not a huge dump off. I feel like you're very accurate as well. So we will kind of go into some of the cons right now. I know there was a lot of controversy around that tuning technology, and it kind of maybe affected some of the pricing. But as goes for if this bow is worth the money, the prices are all over the place right now. I know that they're about to release their new ones, but as for pricing, I feel like this bow is more than worth your money. It's a new experience. A lot of people have shot aluminum bows most of their lives. I think most of the used bows nowadays, they're kind of going between $7,000 to $1,000. That's kind of like the price range for the newer bows. I think when they first came out, they were around 16. Don't quote me on that. I don't know 1,000% for sure, but I think they're around 16. We'll see when they drop their new bows here. But I think if you can get into a bow of this caliber, a flagship, their top of the line bow with the good tuning and everything, for around $1,000, that is unbelievable. Because there's a lot of other brands that you buy a Picatinny mount, you buy their integrated mounts, and you get the bow. You can dump $3,000 into a bow pretty easy. So to be able to get just like the riser of the bow, the bare bow, for $1,000 opposed to $2,000, I mean, you're saving so much money. And for this type of quality, it's pretty astonishing. So I'm kind of excited for the new bows to come out. We'll see what that brings. But. All right, guys. Well, we're out here on the range now. We're gonna give you a little bit of an idea of the grouping. You're gonna have to bear with me a little bit. We got like 15-mile-an-hour winds. We're gonna do a 20 and an 80. I have to move a little bit. 22. Squeeze up a little bit. Squeeze up a little more. Come on, come on. All right, you can see there. Hopefully, maybe 20 yards. Got it dialed on the sight as well. 20 yards. I am going to aim at different dots on this. I don't want to break arrows necessarily. Bottom left. I'll tell you what, these bows hold like a rock. When you get out there in distance and you got a little bit of wind, it might get a little bit wary, just like every other bow, but it's kind of undeniable there. Still 20 yards, a little bit of wind. Any of my 3-spot shooters out there, they'll know. We got 10s all around here. This is quite.
So which was 1, 2, and 3?
So this is 1, 2, and 3. Shot that last one for the middle.
I'd say that bow shoots pretty good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
All right, just making sure we're at 80, y'all.
Yep. Says it. It's there. Make sure
We are dealing with a little bit of a crosswind here.
Yeah. Have to bear with me a little bit. Sounded good. Sounded like it was in the soft spot. All right, guys, you got to bear with me a little bit because we are having like 15-mile-an-hour winds out here. But these two broke very strong. They were good. They're sitting right in the middle. This one got away from me a little bit, but not too bad for 80, if you ask me.
So, Cade is our expert archer here. I am just now getting into it. He's actually coaching me, but I got the same bow as him, and from a novice perspective, this bow has been a dream. It has shot good. I had a different bow before this, and that one I could never figure out. This one has been super easy to be able to get into it, especially now that Cade, he's basically been able to work this bow over for simple. But as a novice entry-level archer, this bow has done really well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, to go over my setup a little bit, I'm running the bow buried. Specs are 70 pounds. It's coming in at about 71.5 to 72. 29-inch draw length. I have the stops ran in a little bit, so it's a little bit longer. It's like 29 and a smidge. Excel sight, Excel housing, QAD rest, the torch bar system on the bottom, and a little bipod that I got from Butch Baker over at Baker Archery Products. I'm running approximately a 470 grain arrow, and I'm running about 285 with that. And then Corey's setup is...
My setup, so I'm still getting into it, so I don't have mine buried yet. I've got mine set at about 65 pounds on the draw weight. I've got a simple sight, just a simple 4-pin. My draw length is maxed out at 29.5 right now. Depending, with my wrist release, it's fine, but if I ever switch to a hinge or a button or anything like that, I will need to get the mods that allow me to go past that 29.
Yeah, the long draw mods.
Yeah. One thing that I like, I don't know how it means in the archery world, but being able to move my stabilizer. I know my last bow didn't have that, so to be able to move and kind of balance out that weight more. I found it more effective like he did on the bottom here. I know some archers might find it better up here, but for me, I feel like it holds better with it down here on the bottom. And yeah, I'm shooting the gold tip pierces through it, and I've got those cut down to about 27 inches. And I put mine through a chronograph, and I was getting 292 feet per second, and I think my arrow is only about 440 grains.
I think, yeah, like
440, 450, somewhere in there. And I'm getting that 290 range. So if I were to get it up to that 70-pound mark, I'm sure I'd be well above that 300. So that's my setup. And for a novice, I have loved this bow. I was shooting a Mission MXR previously, and that really, it's night and day difference. I mean, for me,
really going from that, flagship bow, top of the line, new technology, new feel.
Oh, absolutely.
Switching back and forth, you can definitely feel a difference. So if you do have an older bow like that,
I can't even pick up an aluminum bow anymore. My last bow was aluminum, and that thing feels like a brick now. This is like, I can throw this on my pack all day long, and I can hike across every mountain I want to do with it without noticing it.
Yeah, I'm excited for the season.
We got a lot of fun hunts coming up, so y'all stay tuned. We got pronghorn, bear coming up here we're a few weeks out actually from bear season. Turkey's
right around the corner.
Elk.
A couple weeks, honestly.
Yep.
So.
Looking forward to some good stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, so to go ahead and kind of start wrapping up a little bit here, honestly, my 100% truthful, I've shot this bow for a year.
Get it? Truthful. It's a truth.
Yeah, yes. My 100% truthful review on this bow. I really enjoy it. I think this is a very top of the line bow. I have faith that this company is going to go a long way. I'm here to support them. I'm here to be part of the journey. All in all, I feel like this is an all-around bow. If you've been shooting for 20 years or if you're just getting into archery, they're very easy to work with. It has adjustable draw length. They go from 40 to 70 pounds. I mean, a lot of people can shoot this bow. The Truth 33 MG is really one of the best bows of 2025. I'm really excited to see what 2026 brings. Thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate all of you watching back at home. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to feed the addiction.